kites, whatever you name it. So they were tested. The test of the believer happens. That's a norm. And they were patient. Why did the God of the Torah, for example, allow what happened to the children of Israel in Egypt, what happened to them by Pharaoh? Why God? Yeah. So the point is exactly what happened to them is exactly what's happening to us. Of course, we'll be grieving. Of course, we'll feel sad. But we believe as well there's an afterlife. And that's a key thing. There is an afterlife. And we believe as well those ones who are wronged and oppressed and killed unlawfully, the criminals who killed them, including the Zionists who are participating in them, and as well, by the way, I believe as well Zionism is a political movement rather than, even though they try to use religion, by the way. It's exactly like ISIS, by the way. Exactly in the same manner. It's exactly in the same way. They would try to use religion to move their own politics. What do you find? Even Herzl was an atheist. That's something. He wasn't religious. He didn't care about even Judaism. He cares about his ethnicity. He cares about his politics, and he wanted to establish these things. So that's something which we know, which we are aware of.
Do you think you know everything about Zionism?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I don't think I know everything about Zionism.
Interested in?
But I know about Herzl. He was an atheist. That's something which I know.
Okay,
you agree with this?
I believe that if you would sit down it would take 2 hours, maybe 3.
Okay.
You would sit down with people who know the history of Zionism and could show you and could teach you what happened, what didn't happen, where it comes from. It would totally turn your life upside down if you had an open mind.
Okay.
Because what you've been told, I can almost guarantee, what you've been told about Zionists is not the truth.
All right.
No, it's probably got parts of the truth.
Listen. Simple as that. Was Zionism a religious movement?
Okay. I'll answer the question.
Simple as that.
For religious people it was, and for non-religious people it wasn't.
No.
Wait, but let me finish.
That's for Orthodox Jews,
Let me
by
explain
the
to you
way.
what Zionism was. Let me explain to you what it was. There was a people called the Jews, right? And they were a combination of ethnic people and religious people. There was a combination of those two aspects that made them a people. And they were spread out all across the world.
That's true.
Right? At one point they were living in what is now Palestine, Israel. They were living in that point, and they had a kingdom there, right?
Yeah, okay.
Egypt, Israel, then the destruction of the temple, and they were dispersed across the world, right? Europe, and then across the world, America, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
When they were living in Europe and in Russia, and they found themselves unable to practice their faith without massive oppression wherever they were. Yes, sometimes it was good, sometimes it was better, sometimes it was worse, but there were pogroms and there was oppression and they had all sorts of disadvantages in society, and they couldn't even. What happened with Herzl was, Herzl was in an era where the Jews said, enough of this.
He was atheist.
Exclusion.
So he was atheist.
Enough of exclusion.
No, he was atheist.
What we're going to? Well, hang on a minute.
What do you care?
He was atheist.
What's the relevance
Mohammed,
of
just
this?
hear me out. Don't interrupt me.
Because he didn't care about Judaism as a faith.
Hear me out. Right? These were human beings. They were educated. They were doctors and lawyers, and trying to take part in society in Germany and France, right? And what happened was when they married non-Jewish people, they went to non-Jewish universities. They gave up all their religious looks and everything, and they were still anti-Semitism. And they were still, and there was a trial of a guy called Dreyfus. You may have heard about it in France. And he looked at that trial and he goes, you know what? The only way that people who are Jewish in any way, shape or form, religious or not, believers or not, the only way they're ever going to be safe is if they have a political situation in which they can live freely and defend themselves.
Okay, good.
And he looked at Uganda, and he looked at Alaska, and he looked
at Brazil,
Palestine, and he discovered, and he looked at Palestine, and what was decided by him and his other fellow, they had designed his Congress, and what they decided was the only viable place, right, that would bring Jews together into a state had to be Palestine, right? It had to be that place because that was the historical, religious homeland that all Jews had been speaking about in their prayers for years. You know that, right? You do know that.
Yeah, I know this. And then as it's empty area, just go there and live there. You don't need to do nothing. It's there, it's empty land. Just go there and live there in harmony.
Hang on.
They have millions of people living there. kick them out, kill everyone,
Hang on a
and
minute.
then stay there.
That's not what happened. That's not what
That's what's
happened.
happening until
No,
today,
that's
by
what's
the way.
happening today.
Either you're turning a blind eye.
I'm not turning a blind eye at all. Right?
Okay.
I'm the one who brought it up, not you.
Okay, that's
And
my point.
I'm not turning a blind eye at all.
Yeah.
I'm a humanist, and every single.
If you're a humanist, how come if you're a humanist, you
Yes,
say,
yeah.
how come you see people who are living there? By the way, it's simple as that. You see here, my point is, the right of return.
Yes, I believe everyone who lived in Palestine and their children, their grandchildren, Jews from 2,000 years ago and Palestinians from 2,000 years ago or 100 years ago should have the right to return.
Is this granted to the Palestinians? Is this granted to Palestinians?
Should be. It's not, but it should be.
You see here,
and it's not-
the Zion, now
I
here.
have a friend. I'm friendly with Palestinians, right? From all over the world. I'm friendly with them. Yes, I have a friend called Ezeldin Abulaish. He's a friend of mine. He's a doctor whose kids were killed in Gaza, and his brother's kids were killed in the last couple of months in Gaza. 3 of them, right? And I met him in London. I'm not lying, by the way, whoever your friend is.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so
all right.
we're not accusing you of lying, by the way.
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book called I Shall Not Hate. Okay?
Yeah.
He's a Palestinian from Gaza. Okay? And I'm friendly with several other Palestinians. Okay? Some of them are Palestinian Israelis who are already citizenship. Okay? And I believe that there should be a single place in Palestine, Israel, where people should have the right to return.
Good.
All of them.
All right.
And there's a reason why only Jewish people, yes, have the right to return to both Israel and the occupied territories, and where Palestinians who lost their homes in 1948 and their children, grandchildren are not. There's a reason for it.
What
and
is
there's
it?
one reason only.
Which is?
And it's a reason which, I'm sorry to say this to you, Mohammed, but it's a reason which perks up my ears and interest when I think about Islam as a force in the world, right? When I look at Nigeria, when I look at Yemen, when I look at Iran, yeah? When I look at Lebanon, when I look at so many places in the world, the Balkans, right? When I look at Chechnya, I look at Afghanistan.
What is
It's
this
one
related?
word. I'll tell you what the
what
word
is this related?
It's a horrible word, right? It's a word that plagues humanity, right? And that word is violence. Violence. Okay?
All Muslims are violent.
Sorry?
All Muslims are violent.
No, I didn't say all
Why-
Muslims are violent.
why you
But
brought
when
this
I pick
then?
up my Quran, which I don't remember every verse.
Which you don't know
When I
it.
pick up my Quran.
Which you don't know it.
Hang on a minute. When I pick up my Quran and I just read it, and I turn page and I read it, yes, what I pick up is not a religion of peace, I'm sorry to say. Right?
Who said? By the way,
It's not.
for you to know, Quran, there is a time, there is a war situation as well, and that's something which is happening. This is the nature of the human being. There could be a war, there could be certain things, and people they have a right. One second,
ISIS,
people they have a right.
Boko Haram,
No.
The Taliban.
It doesn't matter.
Where is it going to end?
No.
There's so much messed
What
up
about
Islam in the world.
have you
It's
served? Have you
terrible.
served an IDF?
No.
No. Have you served an IDF? No.
I would serve in it tomorrow.
You're serving it.
Yes,
So you
absolutely.
are pro IDF.
Yes, I'm a Zionist. Duh.
You see here, so you are okay to kill other people.
you know-
You're okay to
I'm
go
not
and bomb
okay
an
to kill
airplane.
other- you know
You're okay to
anyone.
go on an airplane, you bomb everyone there. You don't care
When's
about the
last
people what's
time
happening.
A mosque was blown up outside of Palestine by a
What?
Jew. When?
Just now Gaza, nowadays.
No, outside of Palestine.
Brother.
Gaza is in Palestine.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
Yeah.
My wife's Turkish, right? I went to Istanbul 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. In order to get into the synagogue, right, I had to send my passport and my son's passport ahead of time, okay, to the synagogue, and then I had to show up and they checked my body for weapons and bombs,
Yeah.
and then I had to go to a safe room where they closed the first door, and then they wait till that's closed before they go to the second door to get into a synagogue, right? I went into a mosque in Istanbul, yes. I went into a church in Istanbul, yeah, for Christmas, okay? And you know what just happened? I just walked in. Why?
Am I Turkish?
Why?
Am I Turkish?
Not why you're Turkish.
Am I
It's
Turkish?
all over the world.
Am I Turkish?
No, you're Muslim.
Am I
You're Muslim.
Turkish? Turkey is a secular state. Turkey is a secular state. You go and ask them, why is this?
No,
By the way,
you're
since
not.
since
My
your
point
wife since your wife is Turkish, you should as well you could gain as well Turkish passport. You could gain Turkish citizenship. By the way, and as well apply and as well say why we Jew there? Why we Jew? We don't
you're
have this.
missing my
that-
point.
No.
You said
No.
that
You can't come
my
here.
violent IDF.
No. By the way,
you
and by
said
the way,
I would join
one
the
second.
IDF.
1 second. Yes, of course,
Yes,
because here.
because I believe in defending Zionism.
Yeah, no,
right?
not about
I'm
IDF.
talking about Islamic
IDF.
violence all across the world.
IDF.
My synagogue here in London has to have all the way time security, yes, with armed guards. Why? Because a Muslim might attack my synagogue. Right out, it's not in the Middle East.
Good.
It's in London.
Not
and
just
in
that.
Turkey.
Not just
and
that.
in New York.
Not just that.
everywhere.
Have you had what we had as well as
Islamic
Muslims?
terrorism
No,
is a plague
by the way,
on our
that is,
globe.
By the
It
way,
is.
by the way, and as well the same thing. IDF.
There's no
IDF,
Jewish terrorism except
IDF,
in Israel. If
IDF.
that's terrorism
I
at all.
believe IDF is an terrorist organization.
I don't think it is.
Which they terrorize, kill purposely killing people, regardless whatever they are. And here they kill journalists, and not just that. The RTI testimony, members of IDF, they came out crying. I had to kill a child. I had to kill a child in front of his mom. I had to do this. I was commanded to say this. This is
not true.
What are they lying? No, they say no. They come.
Hello, camera.
No.
He's telling something
No,
which
no.
he heard, which is not. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
liar. I think you've heard something.
No, it's something.
And that is a
Go
lie.
check
Okay.
IDF
I'll check
testimony.
it, don't worry. I've been on breaking the silence clause.
IDF. Look at IDF. Look at the IDF testimony. IDF testimony of the soldiers, what they have done.
I've seen
all
the
of these things.
70% buildings. 70%.
Yeah. Now here, what they have done, they said, "Oh, we have the right to defend ourselves." Okay, to defend yourself, what you have done, you killed 30,000 people on earth. 30,000 innocent people.
They're not innocent people. What a load
Babies,
of rubbish.
babies, they're not innocent people.
Excuse me.
Babies are
they
not.
did not kill
Of course.
30,000 babies. They killed
12
12,000 people.
12,000 are children. 12,000 amongst them are children.
Excuse me. Thousands of terrorists they killed.
You have no.
No, that's nonsense.
Thousands
That's
of
nonsense.
terrorists.
That's nonsense. We have, listen. I'm talking about
How
an
many
official.
Israeli
Listen,
soldiers have you personally spoken to? How many?
you are.
How many?
You are. You are.
I'm not Israeli.
You will be if you're so.
How many
No.
Israeli?
So you're making you're worried about the Palestinians when you support like factory farming?
Yeah.
I thought you said animals have souls.
Yeah, they have souls. We can eat them. Yes,
How
we can
many
eat them.
Israeli soldiers have you personally spoken to?
I met one guy here. One guy came here. He served in the IDF. He said he was proud even killing Palestinians. He said he came here to the park. He was proud killing Palestinians. He said we are proud to do it. So we hear these things. It's not something.
Hang on a second. I'm not avoiding the subject. I'm very, very, very willing and happy to defend the IDF. It's not a problem. I'll defend it. Wait, in Gaza.
Of course, they don't need to.
Wait.
They already done enough.
Hang on,
I mean,
hang on.
they already done enough atrocity in the world. What else?
we can talk
Even
about
the other guy was saying,
atrocities.
why don't we just
Hang on.
bomb whole Gaza
Mohammed,
and boom,
Mohammed,
finish
listen
it?
to me. I'll come back to that, but I want to address my point, right? Which is, whatever you think of the IDF, which obviously you think is a terrible, evil, terrorist organization, which is your view, which I disagree with. But let's leave that, okay? Right? That's the danger to humanity, to human beings all over the world, from Jews, violence from Jews, is only in Palestine, right? No Jews in anywhere else in the world are attacking Muslims.
What about
or
Lebanon?
Germans.
What about Lebanon?
Okay, Palestine. Lebanon,
You
whatever.
see,
in the fight
come on.
over Palestine.
What about? You see here, this is the problem. The problem is, come on, give me a break.
Mohammed,
You're avoiding the question.
Yes,
on
you
purpose.
really are.
No, which one?
You are deliberately avoiding the question.
Deliberately avoiding the question. We're talking about in the small area around Israel.
In the Middle
Let's
East,
leave that
okay,
for
you're happy now.
There is a massive Muslim problem everywhere, almost everywhere.
And you're denying
Muslims
it
against
to a
Muslims.
camera.
Yeah, okay, good.
There
Simple
is a
as that.
huge
Simple as
problem
that.
With Islamic violence.
We-
face it and talk about it here and now. All over the world.
Listen,
massive problem.
If all Muslims,
and don't
if
deny
all
it, Mohammed.
Muslims,
I'm sorry.
if all Muslims,
talk to me
again,
about it. Come on, I'm begging
if
you.
all Muslims they were violent.
No, I did
if
not
all
say
Muslims-
that. I didn't say all Muslims are
By the way,
violent.
don't point.
I
Why
said-
do you shout?
No, okay.
Why do you shout?
Because I'm passionate.
Respect yourself.
I'm
by the way,
passionate.
yeah.
Mohammed, listen to me. Read my lips. Read them. There are many beautiful, peaceful, delicious Muslim people all over the world.
Majority, which are the
Okay?
majority.
Gorgeous. Okay.
Which are the majority.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying all Muslims are anything.
You already labeled them.
Okay.
Already, by the
No,
way.
I didn't label them.
So you
I
retract.
said there's a problem with Islamic terrorism. That's not even a person.
The same
That's
thing.
just a concept.
The same
Right?
thing. I met Jews here, and I have friends as well who
Yes.
came here, who are anti-Israel, who are anti-Zionism, who are here,
Mohammed,
who
we're
came
gonna have
here,
to end this conversation if you
peace-loving,
can't
peace-loving.
address the point
By the
I'm
way,
making.
I'm talking.
Islamic terrorism.
And the same thing.
No, it's not the
it
same
goes
thing.
vice versa.
No,
you
it's not
see,
the same thing.
We have
the only religion
we have
in
a
the
saying.
world that has its adherents, not all of them, a small portion of them, going around the
Yes,
world,
good.
committing acts of terrorism and saying Allahu Akbar, are Muslims.
Okay.
Stop denying it and stop giving me this nonsense about other stuff. Face
let's
the
say-
question and answer the question,
why-
or I'm walking away.
It's okay. So it's up to you. I don't
Other
care.
people
My
following
point
him.
is, my point is.
Here's the truth.
By the
Here's the
brother,
More people
I
are
have something to
converted-
say.
Sorry. More people are converted to Christianity
By the way,
the sword than they were.
You're right, but not recently.
Yes.
Not recently.
Brother, please.
That's the point.
By the way, please.
Was
I'm
that a
talking
good
here.
thing or not?
Oh, I'm talking here. By the way,
Was that a good thing or
by the way, I'm saying here. The last thing I wanted to say.
that a
By the
good
way, I wanted to say to you again,
Yeah.
and I'm repeating this.
Yeah.
You see here, we don't have in our scripture, for example, go kill every single man, woman, even infant, even donkeys. We don't have in our scripture like this.
No, you do.
We don't have this.
Yeah, you do.
No.
In the hadith, you have no kill every Jew, even if they're behind
No.
a rock.
No.
That's in your hadith.
No.
Yes, it is.
No,
I've read it.
No, that's not true.
Oh, it's not true.
Now
That's a
here,
lie?
no, that's not true. That's not the way
No,
that
there's
is.
no hadith like that.
They say now
The
here.
Jew is going to be hiding behind the tree and the rock, and you're going to find them and kill every Jew.
Do you know-
That's not in the hadith.
That-
Yes, it is.
Now, the point is
we look it up?
that hadith,
Yeah.
firstly talking about when the Jews they will be coming, especially as you are not the one who are peaceful people,
Right.
who came, who terrorize us, who came to kill Muslims and Christian and even Arab Jews who were living in Palestine for centuries. They're being killed and targeted because they are Arabs. They're being given injections to the Jews who are from Eritrea, who are from those what you call it Ethiopian, they were given the women given injection because they don't want black Jews. They want just only white ones. So these are the things which we've
filthy, disgusting lie.
Yeah, okay, so you check
filthy,
the news.
disgusting
News
lie.
now here and then
You
after
know,
that.
I'm
So the point is,
again, spreading filth,
No.
nothing
No,
like-
yeah.
there's nothing about
Yeah.
at all.
you check it.
Shame on you.
Listen, just check it.
I'm not
Why
gonna
we go-
check it,
Go
'cause
check
it's
it.
a lie.
This is the news. Who?
Yeah.
By the way,
Al Jazeera
who's
News.
no, not Al Jazeera. By the way, this is even Israeli news. By the way, for you to know, Israeli news.
sure.
Yeah, women
Yeah.
are complaining.
Yeah, women are complaining 'cause they're
Ethiopian, yes,
having
given
babies.
injections.
What a filthy,
So
disgusting
the
lie.
point is here. What I'm saying here. So these are the things. So when they come, our Prophet said to us, "They're gonna be a time," and that's true. He said, "They're gonna be a time. The Jews they will be on the west side of the river, and you're gonna be on the east side." So our Prophet, he told us 1400 years ago, at the time where the Jews, they were minority even in the Arab Peninsula, they were even scattered around the world, they were not even there. They said they're going to be a time, they're going to be a power. That shows this is the one of the prophecy. How we know that he's a prophet of Allah? How we know? Is through this hadith. When he said, he predicted that 1400 years.
power called Hamas, maybe.
No, he said about the Jews, by the way.
Oh.
He said, he said they're gonna be, the Jews, they're gonna be on the west side of the river, and you're gonna be in the east side. He said to us this, which means they're gonna be coming to you. They want to attack you. They will take your land. They will do all of these things. And then our Prophet said to us, then at that time, you're going to be fighting them back. That's part of the things
And
which he was saying.
Time, you should kill every
No,
baby Jew.
he didn't say babies. He didn't say babies.
Every Jew includes
no,
every baby
no, he
Jew.
didn't say those are the offensive fighters. Those are the ones who to be fought.
not
That's what
very
the
clear, is it,
No, clear in the hadith. He said there will be fighters who are be behind rocks and trees, and the Prophet peace be upon
every
him.
Jew,
No,
not every
didn't say.
fighter.
No,
It
didn't
says
say.
every Yehud.
Check. No,
Yes,
check.
it does.
No,
You
check
check
the
it
hadith.
out.
Check the hadith. It didn't say this.
All right.
So the point is, the Prophet peace be upon him, he said to us. He said 1400 years ago this is happening,
Check it out.
and we are seeing it now. We are now seeing it.
Mohammed,
Yeah.
do you
So
think-
the
care
point
about-
is,
do you care about Palestinian children being killed?
of course I care about
Okay.
them.
Would you recommend then? I know no one's listening to us.
And I care, by the way,
Would you recommend-
and I care about
would you
even the
recommend
Jews,
the Hamas
and I care about
front
as well, and I care about the children, the Jews' children as well. I care about every child.
Good.
Every child life matters.
Good.
But
Good.
you don't care about them. You are supporter of IDF.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me ask you something.
You don't care about
Let me ask
them,
you something.
so
If you had a magic wand, if you had the lovely Mr. Hania in Qatar Hotel,
had a phone.
if you had his phone number, and you could call him and say, I've been speaking to this weird guy in Speaker's Corner in London Hyde Park, and he said if you give up all the hostages, send them all hostages who are still alive home, and you guys surrender and go to Algeria somewhere, right? It will save thousands more dead Palestinian children, right? Would you make the call?
You said it.
Would you ask Mr. Hania to
you said it.
surrender?
By the way,
I'm saying on camera. Do you call for the surrender of Hamas to save Palestinian babies?
Okay.
Because I do.
The answer is as follows. Will you call IDF? Will you call IDF to put down their weapon and not to fight no one?
Yes, absolutely.
To put down their weapon, not to fight
Do you know
no
what
one.
I did? Shall I tell you
They will not do it.
Shall I tell you what
They
I
will
did?
not do it.
Okay,
Come on.
listen to me
You
carefully.
support of IDF.
Listen to me carefully.
You can't.
No, I want you to listen to me. I want this to be on camera so you know
Okay.
something. All right? Okay? The free
And by the way, I'm not pro-Hamas. For you to know. For you to know, I'm not
No,
pro-Hamas.
I don't care if you're not pro-Hamas.
And I don't
Why
care. I
isn't
don't care about
everyone
you.
here in Speaker's Corner with flags saying Hamas surrender, save the babies? Because that's the only way they're going to be saved. Israel will stop the bombing instantly when
Good.
those hostages are released and Hamas surrender. And if you care about
I care about.
Palestinians,
I care
you'll
about.
call for Hamas to surrender.
Go. Now here, during the Nakba time, which is there were no Hamas, there were no one, and what they have done?
No,
What your IDF saviors? What they have done? They killed thousands of people, women, children, babies, everyone killed everyone. There were no Hamas at that time. There were no resistance. They just killed everyone, killing every single
absolutely
person.
was
Look at
resistance.
this. Come on. Why they have to resist?
Why do they have to resist?
Why do
Because
they have
they
to
didn't want a Jewish state in Palestine.
So you are imposing people. You are imposing yourself to them, and you are fighting them to take their land, and you want them just to be
Okay,
quiet.
Let me ask you something. Do you know what Judenrein means? Do you know what Judenrein means? It's a German word. You know what it means?
No.
It means free of any Jews. So
No, I don't. No,
wanted
no, the Jews.
Germany
No,
to be free of any Jews.
No. Actually,
Yes.
Palestine had
How
Jews.
many
Palestine,
Palestinians- No.
Palestine had Jews.
Mohammed.
Jews used to do the pilgrimage every year to Palestine.
Mohammed,
They
let
used
me
to
finish my
visit the
point.
holy
I
places.
hear you.
No one has stopped them throughout the time. So don't lie about the
I'm not
Muslims.
lying about anything. Listen to me. Listen to me. I haven't made my
Jews,
point. Let me make-
Jews,
Mohammed,
they lived amongst Muslims. They lived in Andalusia, in Spain. They lived with them in harmony. They were
stop talking for a second and
prime
listen.
minister to the
Listen,
leaders.
Mohammed,
How,
listen.
what's more than this?
Muhammad, listen to me, right? There was a country which the Romans called Palestine,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And it was changed to when the Arab armies invaded and took over. Yeah, they renamed it Palestine because there's no p in Arabic, right? Okay, so it was colonized. by the Arabians.
Actually, that's not true.
It was
Because
colonized by the Arabians.
actually, even in the Old Testament, you find Palestinian, even Palestinians. Those are the ones who are indigenous.
about the Arab invasion, not the Ottomans.
No, I'm
The
not even
Ottomans
not
were
the
not
Ottomans.
Arabs.
Even the Old Testament talk about
Ottomans.
Palestinians.
Yeah.
The one who the Jews fought, Palestinian
They
with
were
F.
called Pelishtim with a P.
And
That's in Hebrew.
Well,
But anyway,
by
it's
the way,
irrelevant. It's
I don't care about the Hebrew. I'm talking
Anyway,
about the English one. They
it
say
doesn't
F.
matter.
They have F,
Doesn't
Palestine.
matter. There was a place in 1948 called Palestine, right? It
Okay.
was the West Bank, and it was what is now today Israel. Okay.
Okay.
After the 1948 war, right? In the end, right? Israel. What was Israel? Had a very large, not large, a sizable Arab Muslim population who are now Israeli citizens, their children, and them their children.
No,
Yes?
that's not true.
Yes.
That's not true. We have
Okay,
we have 7 million Palestinians. They are outside the land.
No,
7
there
million.
are 9.2 million Israelis, of which roughly just under 2 million are Arab.
We
Muslims.
Jordanian, we have 70% of
Not
Jordanian,
no.
Jordanian origin. 70% of Jordanian are Palestinian origins.
You're
Where
not
they
listening,
come?
Mohammed.
I'm from Jordan.
Okay,
Don't
let me
lie
ask-
to me
let me ask you a
about my
question.
population.
How many
Don't lie to me
are
about
there
my neighbors.
Israeli
And my,
citizens who are-
we have
are there
we have
Israeli
6
citizens who are
million
Arabic
Palestinian. 6 million Palestinian in Jordan
I
alone.
agree with you. Stop talking.
So
I
that's
agree
it.
with you. Are there Palestinian Israelis? Are there Israelis who are not Jewish?
Yes,
but
there
they're
are.
Israeli citizens.
Yes, there are.
Right. Are they Muslim? Some of them.
Yes, some of them, yes.
Yes. So there
Not
are
most of
Muslim,
them, some of them, yes.
There are Muslim people, yes, who have Israeli citizens.
Minority,
Minority, but
small.
No, it's
small.
not small. How many? How many?
Can you tell me?
Yeah, I can. But I want
What
you
is
to
it?
tell
I
me
don't know.
first.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't
Well, have
know.
a guess.
So you're just talking out of
Have a
ignorance.
guess.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
In
Have a guess. 1
1940
second. Have
I
a
don't
guess.
know.
Have a guess.
I don't know.
Have a guess.
I don't need.
There are 9 million Israelis in total. How many of them do you think are Muslim?
I don't know.
Palestinians?
I seriously don't
Have a
know.
guess. Just have a guess.
I seriously don't know.
Yeah, Daddy, here's
100,000, 500,000, 20.
Maybe 500,000, maybe
No, it's 1.9 million.
1.9 million.
Yeah.
And you have around
Out of 9 million.
We have around 6 million in Jordan. We have around 3 million in Lebanon. We have around all of them.
How many
so
Jews?
around 15 million outside, and
How
only
many Jews
you
were
left.
living in the West Bank?
That's good. You left only 1 million
Before
inside.
1948, how many Jews were living in the West Bank? Which
How-
was Palestine.
When?
In 1947, 46, 44.
I don't know.
I don't know either. There were
I don't
about
know.
a few thousand.
I don't know. I
Tens
don't
of
care.
thousands.
So-
yes. Do you know what happened to them after 1948?
No.
Do you know what happened to them?
No.
Would you like to know?
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, they were ethnically cleansed.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
Do you know
They
why?
were thrown out by Jordan, and there were Jews living in Gaza who were thrown out by Egypt.
That's not true.
the
Do you know why?
Okay.
People
It
who
is
came
true. No, it's not true.
again.
It is true. No, it's true. Look up your
A
history.
Polish
It's
guy.
100% true.
Sorry, are you Ashkenazi?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You are from England, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your right to go there?
To
You
where?
have no right to
To
go
Israel?
there. Yeah.
I have every
Yeah.
right to go there. What
Yeah.
are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Do you have more of the right than a Palestinian does?
I have the same right as a Palestinian.
Why?
Why do you have a
Why do you have the same right? Well, you never lived there. Your father didn't live there. Your grandfather didn't live there. That's it. Why?
Okay,
What is your right?
because-
Who gave you that right?
I can
A
tell
Bible,
you.
a Bible
You're
which you
not
don't
listening
believe
to
in,
me.
a
No.
book which you don't believe in, a God which you don't believe in, and yet you don't believe about that God.
Technically,
Yeah.
technically, a Jew is someone who believes in the covenant that God gave them.
But
Considering-
he doesn't believe.
One second,
Yeah.
considering you don't believe in God,
That's
you're not-
you have no right.
You're not a Jew.
No, that's
you're not a Jew.
You can't tell me what
A
I
Jew,
am.
a Jew is a person that.
No, that's-
By the way, he's not Muslim. By the way, he's not a
Wait,
Muslim.
wait,
You
wait.
literally just made up a
One second.
definition of Jew.
No, a Jew is someone that believes in the covenant that God gave them, that's set apart, that's set apart from people.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me
If
ask you
you don't
something.
believe in
let
that,
me
so
ask
how
you
can you
something.
be a Jew?
No, let me ask
You see here, that's a problem here.
No.
He said,
something.
this is our God-given right. This is the idea of
I have a
Herzl.
son. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Name's Leo.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. When a boy is 8 days old, right?
Yeah.
There's a thing called a Brit, right, which is a covenant. The Brit is the Hebrew for covenant.
Okay, yeah.
It's a circumcision, but it's,
Yeah.
that's the operation. But the actual meaning behind it is we bring our son into the covenant of God, right? And we do it in front of 10 men, and we have a feast, and it's a whole ceremony.
Okay.
And we say blessings. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Yeah. Did I have my son circumcised aged 8 days old? Did he have a bris? Did I invite people to a bris? What do you think?
I don't know. We don't know.
I can tell you. The answer is yes. Right? I am a member of the covenant. I'm reluctant. I
not-
struggle.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The same thing.
Excuse me.
The same as Herzl. Herzl.
You know,
Herzl.
belief is
That
not important in Judaism.
Herzl.
Actually, no, it's not. Look, are you Jewish?
No.
Huh? No. Are you Jewish? Were you brought up Jewish? Do you know about Orthodox Judaism? Do you know
Do you know
anything
what
about Judaism?
a true Jew is?
No, you don't know what it is.
You know what
I
a
know
true
what a
Jew
true
is?
Jew is, but you have no
A
idea.
true Jew,
Yeah.
believes in the actual.
No.
1 second, hold on 1 second. A true Jew.
No, believe.
Wait
When
a
you say
minute,
believe,
wait
I
a
stop
minute.
you.
Look.
Wait a minute.
Jews don't have to
Wait
believe
a second,
anything.
Wait a second. A true Jew is someone that in their heart they see that suffering within themselves with God, and they recognise the suffering in their
With
world.
all due respect to you,
Do you know?
have
Do you
no
know?
idea
Do you know
what
what's the
a Jew is.
implementation?
A
By
Jew
the
is
way, by the
someone in
way.
here, not outside.
How do you know?
By the way,
that?
by the way,
What,
by the
you
way.
a PhD
One second.
in what a Jew is?
What is by the way? How you say you have a right to go there?
Okay,
Based on what?
Very easy. Very
Based
simple.
on what?
Very simple. Yeah. I am part of a people, yes, an ancient people called the Israelites.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Who've kept a covenant with their fellow religionists and with their God.
Fine, yeah, okay,
right?
after
We've
that.
We've kept our laws. We've kept our traditions.
Which is not you. You
right?
didn't keep the laws, but
Okay,
carry on.
I do keep the laws.
Oh, okay,
You
carry
don't
on.
believe in God, so-
Carry on. Carry on.
Laws.
The first law. What's the first law?
What's the first
What's
law?
the first law?
There isn't a first law. The first law.
What's the first commandment?
The Ten Commandments aren't the first law.
What's the first commandment?
The first one is I am the Lord your God. That's the first
You
commandment.
don't believe in that.
Which is
So
not.
there you go.
What is That's it. We're done. You're done. You. No, worship none but me.
I don't
Worship
worship any
me.
other gods.
By the way, by
I
the
don't
way.
worship any god.
No, that's the problem. That's why you don't believe in that one.
Excuse me.
You don't believe in the first covenant. You don't believe in the first thing.
You don't
You
know
failed
about
the
Judaism.
first step.
No.
You didn't even put your step in Judaism. But let me tell you something. You know, I will tell you something.
Are you here to
By
shout
the-
at people to learn
By the way, he's not a Muslim. By the way,
I don't care what he is.
By the way,
He's telling me what I am. And
By
he knows
the
what he's
way,
talking about.
you know the Vikings. But listen, brother. The Vikings came to this country some time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They came here. They stayed here. They did all their business, whatever they wanted to do, and then after that, they went back to Germany. Yeah. To Germany and this Germanian, for example, and even Denmark and
yeah.
other Scandinavia. That means every single Scandinavian and every single German, they have right to come here because their ancestors, They came here. They breed here as well with some people, with
gonna say
other
that,
people.
actually.
They have to come here.
I was gonna say
They have historic right.
I think they
They have historical
they
right.
do.
Look at this nonsense.
Well, maybe
Come on.
the Romans.
The Romans,
who
the
conquered
Romans, they
world.
have more right.
Romans who conquered
They have
the
more
world.
right to come here.
Yeah.
You see here,
I think my wife-
Venus,
my wife
what
has
they gonna do
Italian citizenship.
when they come? Do you think?
no, do you know who-
Do you think when they come, all of them, they will come in one go? Do you think the British will leave them? They'll say, okay, yeah, you know,
what the
just
British
come.
will do.
Do you know
What they gonna do?
irrelevant.
What they gonna do?
know who-
They will resist. They will say, no, you can't come to our country. It's not- They will say like these gangsters who come to us, this is our bloody country. They will come to us to do this. They will do the same thing to them.
Mohammed, you ask me a question,
and then they will resist,
you know
which is the
literally,
natural.
it's like,
Which
why
is a
you don't
natural.
talk to a tree
By
to
the way,
yourself? You
by the
ask
way,
me a question,
which is
let
a
me
natural, which is a
answer
natural
your question.
reaction, a resistance towards those invaders. So the same thing when the Palestinians, they were resisting against the invaders.
who really has
That's
the right
exactly
to
what
do that?
happened
Would
to
you
them.
like me to
They said-
answer your
Yes, of
question?
course there is
Would you
resistance.
like-
That's why
would
we
you
wiped
like-
them. We wiped city. We wiped even cities. That's why they had to run to all over the
Would
over
you
the
like
world.
me to answer your question, or do you want to answer the question you asked me yourself?
You asked me a question.
You could add.
What is my right to go and live in Israel tomorrow, which I have the legal right to do
Yeah, I know.
in Palestine?
I
What's my right to do that?
Yeah, I know, I
Which
know, I
may
know.
well do, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
fine.
Okay, this is my right. I have at least two rights to go there. At least two.
Yeah, okay.
Right? The first one is a historical right? Which is that I belong to a people, yes, who lived in that land,
Okay.
right? Who were given that land by what they thought was their God, right?
Which you don't believe in.
Right? Which I have problems believing in.
And then therefore it doesn't matter,
No,
really,
hang on a
does it?
second. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
But which, despite my problems believing it, I'm still loyal to my faith and to my people, right? Despite
Nonsense.
my theological
That's
problems.
nonsense.
It's not
But
nonsense.
you don't believe in your people.
That's nonsense.
Because
I
them
don't
people.
believe
That's
in my
nonsense.
people.
No, you don't believe in
talking
that.
about?
One second.
I married
You
a
don't
Jew.
Believe,
I taught my
you
kids to be
don't believe
Jews.
in that stuff because that whole thing about the Jews is the idea that they were faithful to God.
Hang on
And
a second.
they
Hang
were-
on a second.
one
Hang on a second. I am
You don't
faithful to
believe in God.
And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something else.
Yeah, tell me, what's
we
that?
started this conversation, or the beginning of the conversation, there was another chap who was like insulting me, and I said, a good
No, he
Muslim,
wasn't insulting you.
whatever. I thought it was insulting what he said,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. And I said, a good Muslim has humility, etc., right? Okay?
Yeah,
I believe that whatever God may or may not be, right, and whatever the laws may or may not be about keeping kosher or halal or whatever, fasting on this day or that day, I believe that actually to be divine, yeah, on this earth, yeah, is not about all these little laws you keep or don't keep, right? I think to be divine, people I see in
But
the
it's
street
okay to kill
who are
others, it's fine.
divine, yeah, beautiful, divine human beings are the ones with open hearts, with kindness, with honesty, with decency, yes, who make the world a better place.
I agree with this.
That's what I
I
believe.
agree with
And that's
this.
what- if you're that person,
I agree
you're
with
that
this.
person, if you call yourself
I agree
Muslim,
with this.
I call you. We're all
No,
good,
no,
decent humans.
but you are a supporter of IDF. No, you can't be like this.
Well,
You
I
are.
haven't- I
You have
haven't
two
given you
face.
the se- I
You have two face.
haven't-
That's
no, I haven't-
hypocrisy.
I haven't given you the second reason why I have the
You
right
see
to
here,
do
that's
that.
a problem.
I haven't
When you
given-
are a supporter of Zionism, a supporter of IDF,
I
you know
haven't
you can't play these two games. You know
I
that.
haven't-
You just
I
you can't-
believe Israel.
These two, the two
I
cards.
believe Israel has had some really terrible leadership and has had some terrible policies. But actually, at the heart of Zionism and at the heart of the Israeli people, who I have lived and I've worked and my family's there and I know very well. I speak fluent Hebrew.
By the way, initially you said you didn't live in Israel.
No, my
Oh.
brother lives there. I lived there in the 90s. And I've
Okay.
been visited many times.
Do you know
Right?
how's the right
I'm
to that land?
extremely
Yeah,
familiar.
do you know
I'm
how's the right to
familiar
that
with its people and with the hearts of those people and their beliefs and their lives and their values. And I believe overall there are lots of really crappy people at the edges who have terrible beliefs and terrible actions. But the heart of that people is a beautiful nation, and I love them. And that's why I'm a Zionist. I love Israel. Now listen.
By the way,
my right to live in Israel-
I will tell you something. I don't generalize. I will not make Zionism to represent. Zionism is the worst thing to represent Judaism. Judaism as people. I dealt with people who are Jews, and so many of them they are nice people. They're peace-loving, yes, and as well. And actually, when what happened to them, to the Jews in Europe, they run where? They run to Algeria and Tunisia and to these areas. They lived amongst Muslims. They were safe.
they were in Algeria and Tunisia for years before.
Yeah, even I'm not
They
talking
ran to
about.
America
We are not
and to
talking.
China.
We are not talking about just only in the Second
Oh,
World
I
War.
see, like
We are
before,
talking.
other
We are
oppression.
talking about when they were persecuted, when they were chased, when they were killed.
In
They used to come.
Inquisition, in
Yeah, of
the
course.
Iberian
So the point is. That's how it is, and the people they welcome them in their lands, they welcome them in their homes, they respect them, and that's how it is, and they flourished actually even in
There's a
Andalusia.
very, very good book you might want. Your PhD
do.
times two. I've got a book for you to read. Okay? It's called Jews in Muslim Lands. It's
by a very famous historian. Okay.
What's his name?
Martin. So bad.
Is he a Jew?
It's irrelevant. Just read
No,
the
it's relevant.
Yes, he's Jew. It doesn't
Oh, that's
matter.
okay. That's good. I respect, because
He's a very good
if he said this out of as a Jew person to admire being living in a Muslim land and all of this.
He says it wasn't so great.
Okay, that shows the bias.
I want to tell you why. I want to tell you why I have a right to live
Because
in Israel.
we have a written books written by Arab Jews, or in Arabic. They are not written in Arabic language. They admire the being amongst Muslims and how they were saved. They wrote this, so we have these counter things. My point is, people, when they came from Europe, you don't have any right as a European guy just to go there, and because your great ancestor 2,000, 3,000 years ago, they lived there. That's why you have a right to go there. And even though, let alone you are Ashkenazi, you are Ashkenazi, which is, we don't know even if you are even in terms of origin, if you are Semite or not. That's something. That's another.
Racist nonsense.
By the way,
you can convert to Judaism from any race you.
So if I became Jew, I have right to go to Israel today. Look at this nonsense.
See, I met this guy.
Look at this nonsense. You see here?
How come I come from Ashkelon? He was like 75. Yeah, and I'm Palestinian and I can't go, but you can go tomorrow and live in Ashkelon. Why is that? Because you're Jewish. And I said, why don't you just convert and then you can go? Because any Jew is welcome in Israel.
By the way, that's a problem. You see here, look at this. But you were playing a game of ethnicity just a minute ago, and now you're playing about the religion. You see here?
Did
you notice?
What's your definition of a Jew?
It's two possibilities. It's like what's of a woman, you know? It's the same thing. It's not one thing. Yeah? The definition of a Jew, yes, from a Jewish legal point of view, right? Okay, is either someone who is born to a legally Jewish mother, right? Who's also considered to be legally Jewish, halachically Jewish.
Yeah.
Or anybody who's not that, right? Who converts and becomes Jewish according to the legal system of Judaism.
But you don't have. But you are neither of them.
No.
Ashkenazi, Ashkenazi, their ancestors.
I'm not asking you who is qualified to be a Jew. I'm asking you what is your definition of a Jew.
My definition of Jew is a person who's either from a Jewish mother according to Jewish law, or is converted into Judaism from.
And you are neither of them. You are neither of them.
So
by the way, you are neither of them. As Ashkenazi, you're not necessarily.
So
you are not Semite.
Mohammed here in Hyde Park, right?
Yeah.
Has met me for the first time about 2 hours ago, and he's already done my whole family tree, and he knows that
you just said
mother's mother was either not descended from Moses
from mother,
or
listen.
didn't convert. You know that, and you're telling me.
No,
how the
listen.
hell do you know that?
You know. Listen, the two things. Firstly, you didn't convert to you actually left Judaism as a faith.
I've not left Judaism as a faith.
No, you left it. If someone doesn't fulfill the first commandment, is not a Jew.
No, it's not true. Let me tell you something. You don't have to keep the commandments to be Jewish. You don't even have to
That's
know
my
that you're
point.
Jewish.
You are trying to define it, by the way.
If my mother's Jewish, therefore I'm Jewish. I can eat pork on Yom Kippur. I can commit murder. I can do anything. There's nothing to take away Judaism.
You see?
I can't become
That's not true.
That's not true.
I can. It is true.
If you're a true Jew, accepts the divine love of God.
I don't need to accept
wait.
it.
One second.
I don't need. I'm still Jewish.
Hold on.
You know why? Because I can be repentant on my deathbed.
A Jew recognizes that oneless relationship between God and man.
No, wrong.
That's
not what a Jew is.
By the way.
This is the conversation.
By the way.
Chris,
this is your conversation.
By the way.
Jonathan, what is a Jew? Jonathan, a Jew is blah blah blah.
By the way,
Jonathan, I'll tell you what a Jew is. It's something other than blah blah blah. It's ridiculous.
By the way.
I'm telling you what a Jew is, and you're just talking rubbish.
Why you jump like this? Calm down.
You haven't let me tell you why I have a right to live in Israel.
Okay.
And why I'm
My point is to you.
I'll tell you.
My point is to you again. Even though you have no right for this, because at the end of the day, the people live there in harmony. Jews live there. Arab Jews live there. Even Ashkenazi Jews used to go and do the pilgrimage every year there. They have no issues with this. When it comes to import or to bring or to insert people who are not from there, from Europe, just because their great ancestors they came there, or so-called their ancestor came there, which is even the origin of that thought. Herzl, he didn't care about Judaism as a person. He didn't care about any faith. He was atheist. Do you mean he was atheist, meaning not God, he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't care about God. That's how he is. That's filthy scumbag. That's filthy scumbag.
I want you to understand. I want you to understand because Herzl is really important here.
Yeah,
okay?
Herzl is a scumbag.
I want to give you my second reason why I may actually go and live in Israel.
And by the way, let me tell you something. And I'm saying this to everyone here. Not necessarily Zionism doesn't represent Judaism. Zionism,
it does.
It doesn't represent.
I wasn't brought up by Zionist Jews.
It does not represent.
My parents.
That means your parents are good, not unlike you.
Jews. I wasn't brought up in a Zionist.
That means your parents are better than you.
Hang on a second. Good luck to them.
Yeah, they are better than you.
Fine. I don't. They are.
They are respectable people.
Fine. You can respect them. You can disrespect me.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Let me explain to you, Mohammed. Why Herzl is important in this discussion. Right. The reason Israel exists. The reason there's any point in Israel. Right, the whole point. Why is that? Why would Jews in their right mind go and set up a ethno state armed to the teeth in the middle of a hostile region? Why would they do that? It's insane, right?
Do you know why?
You know why? I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Because of
the European. Do you know why the European wanted this? Because they said,
I'm not asking why the Europeans want it. Why would
problem.
the Jews want that?
What?
Why do Jews want Israel? Why do they have it? What's the point of Israel? You tell me what you think it is. Because I know. And that's why I'm probably going to go and live there.
Yeah, okay, good for you. But at the end of the day,
Answer my question.
No, it's my question. I'm not. Do you think that you can?
Why do you do this? You hate me, by the way. What's going on here? Is this part of the IDF plans?
I'll give you a hug.
No, I don't want your hug. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm happy.
I'll give you a virtual hug.
No, okay. Stay away from me.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So the reason I have the right to live in Israel is because of what Herzl, the atheist, set up, right? Which is it's a haven for Jews, who are running away from anti-Semitism. That's why it exists. That's why Israel exists. That's the whole point.
But Ashkenazi, they're not Ashkenazi, they're not Semite. Can you understand this? Anti-Semite.
I mean anti-Jewish.
Listen, so you keep mixing things.
It's just a word that
Ashkenazi. No. By the way, Semite. We are Semite people. We are Arabs, we are Semite.
Muhammad.
What's your problem with this? We are Semite people.
Is a weird word.
No.
Right, okay.
Weird word. They try to say.
I'm Islamophobic, but I think you're a lovely human being.
Yeah, of course you're Islamophobic.
Yeah. I'm afraid of it.
You're not afraid of it. You're Islamophobic. The hater. Islamophobes
yes, I am.
are a hater of Islam.
No.
Are you a hater of Islam?
No.
Don't say yourself.
Phobia doesn't mean hate. It means fear.
No, not necessarily.
Yes, it does.
No,
it's
there's actions.
Word.
It's action. There's action. The same thing.
Anti-Semitism is a stupid word, which really means prejudice and threat against Jews. That's what it means.
But again,
so stop getting obsessed with
if you are again, that's why Herzl he was saying about bringing this Semitic thing.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you say. I hear what you say. I hear what you say.
Millions of Jews around the world have made Aliyah. They've gone to emigrated to Israel. Why? Yeah. At least in part, if not in full, because they felt safer there than in their homeland.
Are they safer there?
Yes. I don't think so.
So that's my point.
Okay, but
my point is
that's their decision. They feel more together there. They feel that if they're going to die or be killed, they do.
Actually, if they live the people as they are, if they live them the way that they are, and they went to do their pilgrimage every year as norm, and they do what the Jews who lived there for centuries, they had no issues. For centuries, Jews lived in Syria, in Palestine, in Egypt, and all around the world. They still
Jews were oppressed. For years.
Nonsense.
Yes, they were.
Nonsense.
They were there for 1,000 years.
Nonsense.
And every few
nonsense.
years,
Some of them. No nonsense.
Yes,
nonsense.
nonsense.
By the way, the
they
Iraqi,
were living as
Faisal, King Faisal. By the way, the King Faisal of Iraq when he ruled Iraq, that even the Jews they flourished during his time.
Of course, they did. There was a king before King Faisal.
Which one? I'm talking of the Faisal the First.
Yeah, but there's lots of kings of Iraq. He didn't live for 1,000 years.
My point is, still, those are we are Semitic people. We deal with each other. Those you are not Semitic people. Why you? We are cousins. We deal with our cousins the way that we sometimes fight. We sometimes have peace. No, we are cousins. We cousins.
You know what?
My point is,
Mohammed,
yes.
Mohammed, listen to me carefully.
Okay.
Right. The reason Israel exists yes, the real reason it exists is not because of God and the Bible.
Yeah,
and
I
Judaism.
know.
Yes, it's
That's
not because of that.
Yeah, that's how
it's
it.
because
So it's politics.
It's because it's politics.
Good,
and the
good.
politics of it
So
are
politics.
Yes, the politics.
Let's
of
discuss
that's
politics.
the case,
Let's
okay,
discuss
that's the
politics.
case,
The
Let's discuss
the
politics.
politics of Israel.
So politics.
And the
Let's
politics of
discuss.
Israel are very
Listen,
simple.
put the religion on aside. Let's
Yes.
discuss politics.
Okay. Here's the
now,
politics.
if those Vikings who came from wherever they wanted to come to take over England,
Yeah.
people will resist. That's politics, correct?
Yeah.
That's the norm. They will not
Absolutely.
accept them. You can't take our land. You know, you were here, yes, sometime, but it doesn't mean you have a right to come back. They will kick them. They will fight them. When they are fighting them, it doesn't. We make those people actually heroes. Heroes who are fighting. One second. Those English people who fought the Nazis, by the way, they were heroes. They were fighting the Nazis because they were invaders. They tried to invade other people, other people's territory.
I agree.
And by the way, what was Hitler's idea? What was Hitler's idea? Homeland of the German. He wants, isn't it? His idea, he wants homeland for the German. That's his idea.
No, it was
yes,
not. That's absolute
initially.
rubbish.
Okay, listen.
Germany is the homeland of Germany.
Listen, no.
Why would
no,
you want to
actually
invade
no.
Poland?
Actually no.
Poland's not Germany.
I will tell
It
you.
was never Germany.
By the way,
no one speaks German
by
in
the way,
Poland.
I will tell you what. The history of the German with the Germania that I wanted to
Why
say.
did they invade
German.
France?
One second.
That's not Germany.
I will tell you. The issue is that's his idea. I'm discussing his. I'm not pro his idea. I'm talking about his idea. He wants Czechoslovakia, which he said
Yes.
that is an ancient area for us. This is an ancient Germanian area. The not even part of Poland was an area of Germania, according to him. And as well, part of that he was expanding. He wanted to take
the whole of Europe and then the whole world.
Later
Italy
on,
and Greece.
what he was thinking now here, hold on a second. When I'm taking these areas, you don't think the people will be quiet. They will fight me back. So when they are fighting, instead of me being just only defensive, now I will be offensive. I will fight them. I will take over France. I will take over other things. So this is politics.
Oh yeah, great.
So
and the Israelis
that's exactly
have done that, yeah.
the
They've
Israelis.
taken Lebanon and Syria and
have
Egypt
a
Egypt.
and the United Arab Emirates.
Exactly.
They've taken over the whole area.
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
I have a
One
question.
second.
I have a question.
Have they? Did they
They've
take
not
Sinai?
tried,
Did
they're
they
not
take Sinai?
They gave it back.
1 second. They took Sinai. Why?
They took Sinai in an offensive war.
That's
right?
my point.
Okay, and
so
they
exactly
gave it back for peace.
That's what
They've got it for peace.
That is what Hitler
For
did when he
peace.
took over France. Exactly what he was as an offensive. He did this in order to defend himself. He took over France. It's exactly. You are just imitating them. You are imitating Hitler. You are imitating Nazis.
Excuse me, I am not anything. Okay, I'm not imitating.
You are
anybody.
Zionism are imitating Nazis. That's it.
Have you heard of Canaanites? Have you heard of them?
Yeah, of course, they're in
Do
the
you-
Bible.
do you
Yes,
believe-
Abdullah.
I believe in the
Do you
Canaanites.
believe that they exist?
Pray عشان. Okay, pray عشان leave.
Okay, so if you believe
I need
the
to go now.
If you, one second, listen
Yeah.
to this. If you believe the Canaanites exist, you're all about it's Israel's land by right and everything. But if you believe the Canaanites existed, if you want to talk about that, then really the land originally belonged to
Yeah,
the
the
Canaanites.
Canaanites should have right of
So-
return
so-
too.
so if the Cana-
let me tell you something. If there are a bunch of Canaanites in like all across the world,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were being oppressed because they were Canaanites and they wanted to have a land that they could defend themselves in, right? And they were going to come and take over Israel. And
So what they're gonna do?
Israelis,
No, what?
they
No,
could
we're not
come.
peaceful.
But
Are they?
there's no
Are
such
they?
thing.
Do you think
There
they're
aren't any
peaceful?
Canaanites
Do you
today.
think they're gonna come in peaceful?
There's no such thing as Canaanites.
Suppose this. They will
they
come
came in peace, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it will be fought.
No, they wouldn't.
And then you'll have the right to defend yourself.
No,
and then that's how
they
it is.
wouldn't.
It's listen. It's just only what you're doing. You're just repeating exactly the Nazis'
but I'm not even
ideas.
sa- I'm not even
That is
saying
how it
just
is.
let them back.
So my advice to you, firstly, which you made all horrible mistakes about the Quran. My advice to you: go read the Quran properly, understand
I
it.
can't read the Quran. It's so dull.
That's fine. That's fine. That's up to you. At the end of the day,
So
That's up to
doesn't
you.
Have any
I
order
agree
to
with,
it.
I agree with you.
yeah. By the way,
Why would God like to support Israel?
yeah, that's fine. If you don't, that's how it is.
You,
That's how it
have
is.
failed me.
No,
You have.
I don't
'cause
care.
You haven't. You
I don't
avoided
care.
the big
I
question.
don't care.
You avoid the question
I
of
don't
Islamic
care.
violence.
I don't care.
You have.
I don't care. Again,
And
the
next-
Islamic,
are you gonna
the
come back
Islamic.
next week?
I will come, inshallah. My point is
We'll talk about
that,
it. I want to do your
and the
homework
same
on
thing.
Islamic
Before
violence.
we go to the Islamic violence, let's go about Zionist violence. Let's discuss this.
I
That's
think
our
Zionist
discussion.
violence is nothing compared to Islamic
Nonsense.
violence.
Nonsense.
Violence is a plague
You
on the
know,
world.
think about if every single Muslim, the 2 billion Muslims, if they were violent, there will be no human being on earth.
I'm not
For you
saying
to know.
everyone. I'm
For you
saying
to
way
know.
too
Just to
many.
know. And this,
but how
and
many-
all of them, vast majority of
but
them,
Mohammed, how many-
vast
There are
majority
no
of them,
international Jewish violence.
vast,
The only
no, the
Jewish
international,
violence is in Palestine.
you
in
done
the
enough.
Middle East.
You done enough. You done enough as IDF
Mohammed,
You guys have
how
done
many?
enough.
How many?
Anyways.
How many though? How many? What's the percentage?
Thank you.
Of
Nice to meet you.
Islamic-
Are you sure you don't want a little?
No. I don't deal with that, with pro-Zionism. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. If you are a Jew with no Zionist, I'm happy to hug you, no problem. But when you are pro-Zionist, I have issues with
So
it.
you want Israel to be destroyed?
No, I want people to have peace, to have harmony, to go back to the Palestinian, as you mentioned, the Palestinian.
Nazis, you're not going to have any peace.
Yeah, that's how
Nice
it
to
is.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How much percentage of the Islamic world would you say are extremists?
What?
How much of the Islamic world would you say is extremist?
Even less than 1%.
1%.
Less than 1%. If it doesn't even reach 1%.
Not like 5-10%.
No, at all.
See you next time, inshallah.
All right, salam alaikum. My point is, my brother Chris, read more about Islam. You never do. Anyway, Jazakumullah khairan, inshallah. May Allah reward you all. Let me just wrap up. May Allah reward you all, my brothers and sisters. And alhamdulillah, we had a good discussion. At the same time, my point is to everyone is actually, we are not a Jew haters. But when it comes to someone who is pro-Zionism, pro-IDF, and the ideas of the IDF and all of these things, that's something which I can't accept. And that's a thing here which we as Muslims we don't endorse such things. And that's why we have to understand that those people who try to endorse their ideology on us, they try to legalize killing innocent people and to say, and babies, to legalize it, to say okay, that's bad, and then they will turn the table to say, oh, it's you Muslims who are terrorists, it's you Muslims who are attacking us. Subhanallah. People, Muslims, Jews, Christians, they lived in Palestine for centuries in peace and harmony. And as soon as those, European coming in, they start fighting people. And even he was saying they were resisting. Of course they were resisting. What do you expect from them in 1940? And then they wiped land. They killed millions of people. We in Jordan, we have nearly 6 to 7 million Palestinian origins living in Jordan. They wish to go back to live in their land, in Palestine. Yeah? And they are also our brothers and sisters in Jordan. We as well in Lebanon, millions of Palestinians and all around the world. And they said they have right themselves to go as a Jew. Even Ashkenazi, they said one time he will say, due to the faith. And he will use the faith where he is an atheist. He was using the faith that he has right to go back because of the promise of God to them. But at the same time, he's atheist. He doesn't care about religion. The same thing as Herzl and those people. So anyway, that's the conclusion inshallah ta'ala for today. May Allah increase us all in knowledge. Amen. Wa jazakumullah khair. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Okay, inshallah. Barakallah. I don't know who are these ones, who's who, which is which. Yeah, brother. Yeah. Who's this brother? Can you take?
Where's the big devils on the top of the light? Just remove gently because it might break.